Okay, good morning. So let's start at the top of the mat, but with the feet wide. So usually we would do feet together, do either hips width, which you could measure out with your fists, and just kind of place your fist between your toes, or you can go wider, whichever feels better. And when you get there, just roll the shoulders up to your ears, then back and down, and as you exhale, put a little bend in your knees. So shoulders forward and up on the inhale, straight legs, and shoulders back and down, exhale. Just do this a few more times. Notice that when your legs are straight, you have to work harder to drop your tailbone. When your legs are bent, it's pretty easy. Okay. The next time that your shoulders are down the back, we're going to keep that, but straighten the legs. And just turn the palms out. You might feel a stretch all the way through the biceps, depending on your flexibility. Next, inhale, just reach up. The hands just get as close as they want to together. And exhale, arms down, but with the knuckles toward your legs, so your palms are still facing out. Just do that a few more times at your pace. The inhale brings our arms up. The exhale brings our arms down. You can imagine your thumbs trying to touch each other. That's how open you are through the shoulder. And again, inhaling, reach up, tailbone is down. Exhale, opening up through the whole front shoulder. One more breath. Next inhale, let's reach up and go for steeple mudra. Interlace the fingers, thumbs just next to each other, point your fingers up, and we'll lean over to the side. Doesn't matter which side, because in a moment we'll be going to the other one. So as you're reaching, push into the opposite foot more. Push the hips away from your arms. And try to get the arms a little straighter, belly in. And next inhale, we'll come up through center, and we'll head over to the other side. So if we just reach, it will feel nice, but if we push our hips opposite the hands, it will feel nicer. We're just going for that stretch through the top waist. The inhale brings us up again. And we'll release the arms down, exhale, and let's bring the feet together. We'll meet in downward dog. Reach up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. So you can either just step back or you can move through the whole cycle. Inhale, chest forward. And exhale, step to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Just relax your neck. You can stare at your ankles. If you have any back issues, maybe stare at your belly button. That will help you draw your belly in. Kind of like how when you think about your breath, it automatically changes the breath when you're observing it. So same thing with your Uddiyana Bandha. You just look at your belly button, it will change. Okay, after your exhale, step, walk, or jump, feet to hands. Inhale when you're there, straighter legs. Exhale to fold. Let's bend the knees and start to roll up. Heavy arms, heavy head, belly in. So you articulate through the mid-back. Reach up again whenever you're there. And fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Send the left foot back, exhale. Straighten your right leg any amount, inhale. And bend it again, exhale. Just one more time like that. Inhale, push into the ball of your right foot. Exhale, dig into that right heel. Now let's place the palms flat, step to plank. Inhale there. And for your exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift the chest, press it to the toenails. Downward dog, exhale. Lift the heels high, inhale. Spin the heels to the right so your toes face the left. Bend the right knee so more weight is on that left foot. And just press your chest toward your knees. So it's still that down dog shape. Just a little extra stretch through the left waist. And bring the heels up and over to the other side. Now a stretch through the right waist. And feet through center. Heels up high for an inhale. Bend the knees for an exhale. Look forward, step or jump. When you're at the top of the mat, inhale to straight legs. Fold, exhale, drop your head. Bend the knees and just start to roll up. And this is a good practice for how to keep your arms and head heavy while the legs are strong and the belly is drawn in. We have to discern what to use, what to not use. Inhale to reach up. Fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Right foot back into that lunge, exhale. Straighten the left leg, inhale. Bend the left leg, exhale. Straighten the leg, inhale. Bend the leg, exhale. Palms flat, step to plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Make your stance a little shorter than you might normally. And reach your left hand toward your right ankle. If you can't quite touch your ankle, just hold somewhere, even maybe the knee. And as you are reaching your hand back toward your leg, your chest will go a little closer to your leg. Maybe you can get your right heel a little closer to the floor. And let's switch arms. So now that left hand is responsible for all that anchoring that both hands were doing. So your left fingers have to work a little bit harder. Make sure the arm stays straight. Press the heels down. We'll just return that right hand to the floor. Lift the heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, look forward and step or jump. Inhale when you're there. Fold, exhale. Bend the knees, roll up. Again, just take your time. Tailbone angles down, arms stay heavy, the head comes up last. Inhale whenever you're stacked. And fold, exhale. Halfway up for the inhale. Left foot back for the exhale. High lunge, arms up. And we're going to just keep our hands about shoulders width for now. And just like we did when we were standing, we're going to lower our arms down with the palms still facing out. So the knuckles are in toward each other. On the inhale, we'll just reach up. The exhale, we'll just lower our arms. You can think thumbs toward each other. One more time like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to reach up. And hands to the floor. Step back. Vinyasa. From your down dog, either stay there or right leg up high. Inhale. And bring your knee to your right elbow. Exhale. Leg up high. Inhale. Knee to the elbow. Exhale. And if you're staying in downward dog, it's still breathing the same. Inhale. Maybe knee in toward the elbow. Exhale. Inhale. And we'll all meet in regular downward dog, 2 feet on the floor. Exhale. Heels up high for your inhale. Bend the knees. Exhale, look forward and jump. Inhale when you're there. Fold, exhale, drop your head, relax your neck. Bend the knees and start to roll up. Keep relaxing your neck. Keep telling yourself, heavy arms. Eventually you're standing, head stacks. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold. Halfway up for an inhale. Right foot back for the exhale. High lunge, reach up. Arms down, palms facing out, exhale. Inhale, arms are straight as we reach. Exhale, arms are straight as we lower, thumbs toward each other. Inhale. This is the same shoulder position you're going to need for Mukta Hasta Sirsasana C. Inhale to reach up. We'll place the hands on the floor, Vinyasa. So Mukta Hasta is different than Baddha Hasta. Baddha Hasta is the one that Carol has been obsessed with for the past few months. We will do both later. We're just setting up our shoulders to have some possible success in that realm because it's a very hard pose. Okay, heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, look forward and step or jump. Inhale whenever you're there.
Rachel, you forgot the lifting the leg and bringing the shoulder.
Thank you. Back to downward dog we go. Yay! Yay for the unmute button. So from downward dog, left leg up high, inhale. Knee to the elbow, exhale. We did this 3 times. Inhale, leg up. And if you're just staying in downward dog, that is fine. Exhale, knee in. One more time, get the leg as straight as possible. And we'll meet in a nice normal downward dog. And then we'll bring it forward. Heels up high for an inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, look forward and jump. Or step. Inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend the knees and start rolling up. There's a million things you can tell yourself here. I just have to keep remembering belly in, because that's what helps articulate the back for me. So whenever you're standing, reach up. We're just going to bring our right knee to the chest. And extend the leg back as you would a warrior 3 and tilt the body forward to respond. We'll stand again, bring the knee in toward the chest. And we'll extend it back out and let the torso come down. Just one more time like that. Exhale to curl in. Inhale to extend out. Exhale to curl in. This time flex your right foot and place it on your left thigh. Stick your butt out and lean the torso forward. So same concept of finding the balance with your torso and head kind of countering your butt and your legs. Take one more breath here. And we'll stay balanced on that left foot. We're just going to lift the torso and step back into a lunge and pivot around so you wind up in warrior 2 with your right leg bent. Straighten your right leg whenever you're there. And rebend the knee, exhale. 2 more times just like that. Try to keep your arms straight as you're doing this. The drishti, the eye gaze, is over that right middle finger. And we'll just pause in warrior 2 after that 3rd round of straightening bending. And we'll think pubic bone up toward belly button. Should feel pretty good in the back. Okay, we'll rise up and around to face the front edge of the mat again. Palms to prayer. Let's bring our right knee toward the chest and interlace the fingers on the shin. I'm just going to face you, but you're fine. And start to bend the elbows to bring the knee higher. Circle the ankle with time or 2. So we're not leaning back to get the knee higher, we're just bending the elbows. And circle the ankle the other way. Okay, gently let that foot go. And then we'll just do the other side. Reach up, inhale. Hands to prayer, left knee to the chest, exhale. Extend the leg back. Warrior 3 variation, inhale. Knee comes in, and we stand up, exhale. Inhale, extend back, reach as far as you can. Exhale, curl in. One more time. And after that next return to knee to chest, flex that left foot, place your ankle on your lower right thigh, flying pigeon. You can come as low as you want. We want to feel something mostly in that left hip. I also feel it in the back just because I'm tight. So I like to think belly in. Okay, try to keep your balance. Lift the torso. Step back with that left foot to a lunge. And just pivot around for warrior two, left leg bends. Heel to arch alignment. Straighten your left leg. Exhale, bend it approximately 90 degrees. Inhale, straight. Exhale, bend. One more time. And we stay with the knee bent. Take a little peek at your foot. Make sure you can see your left big toe. If your knee is blocking the view of your big toe, means you need to push your left knee further to the left, which means your left hip has to work harder and open more. Okay, pivot around. Return to the front edge of the mat, hands to prayer, left knee in. Interlace the fingers, and you could pull it in probably another 5 inches when you bend the elbows. Just circle the ankle. Go the other way. Okay, and release the foot down. Inhale to reach up. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway up for an inhale. Step or jump, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Right leg up high, inhale. Step to the hands, exhale. High lunge, inhale. To warrior two, exhale. To Parshvakonasana. Either elbow to thigh, or right hand to floor, or right hand to a block. Let's practice more with that left arm. So just decide about your right arm and let it be. With this left arm, we're going to stare at that left hand and try to get the pinky finger to angle down more. If that's hard for you, instead of reaching out overhead, reach a little more forward. Practice getting the arm more in the socket. So literally, your shoulder will move back a couple inches. Once the arm plugs into the socket, getting that sweeping action is a whole lot easier. Okay. Let's rise up to warrior two. Stay there for a breath. I know your right thigh is dying. We won't be here forever. Let's straighten the right leg, scoot the back foot in just a few inches, and we'll turn it into triangle pose. Reach out and lower that hand to somewhere comfy. We're going to do the same deal with that left arm that we did in Parshvakonasana. So there's a lot of ways. You could just lower it from the top to that overhead, or you could sweep it down and around. Sometimes if the palm is facing in toward your legs and you sweep it down, you already have that shoulder rotation, so it makes it easier to keep it. Just find the way that you like. You could also do the same reaching forward thing, plug the arm in. I sometimes do that with a bent elbow and then extend. Okay, let's rise up and just vinyasa. I'm going to turn around because my top of mat is over there. We'll meet in a downward dog. Take a few breaths in down dog to reflect on your shoulders. Does it feel any different? Right side, left side. 2 more breaths. Okay. And left leg up high, inhale. We'll step to the hands, exhale. High lunge, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Parshvakonasana. Left elbow or left hand comes down. Right arm reaches over the head. So we have a straight line, ideally from that back foot to the top hand. It's one of those things that if you're not practicing at a gym, you really have no way of knowing if it's a straight line. You approximate. We work on that shoulder rotation. That's what we need for our headstand later. Okay, keep your warrior two legs. Rise up. Take a breath. Just deal with the fatigue of your left quads. You'll be fine. Now let's straighten that left leg. Scoot that back foot in a bit. For triangle pose, left arm reaches out and down to somewhere comfy. If your hamstrings are tight and you want to reach all the way to your foot, your knee would have to bend. That's not a triangle pose. So first thing is legs straight. Then you let your arm come down. Over time, it will go to a different spot. So right arm over the ear. If you feel kind of impinged in some way, redo it and go from a different place. Each entry point will give you a different feeling in the actual pose. Okay, next inhale, we'll rise up. Bend into the knee for an exhale and vinyasa. Okay, for Prasarita, you can step either foot forward. It might depend on where your camera is and how you want to see the camera or not. So bring one foot forward and quarter turn yourself to the side so that the toes face the long edge of the mat. Slide the hands back so they line up with the heels. Inhale. And lower the head down, some amount. Exhale. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. We'll just practice getting the legs straighter. Keep the elbows in so that they're just over the wrists. Next, inhale, straighten your arms. And we'll pivot to face the right leg for Anjaneyasana. Left knee down, hands to the right thigh, chest up. Either stay here or left hand will come back and we'll reach for the inside of the foot so that the thumb is facing up like hitchhiker thumb. And you'll end up with a stretch through the left pecs, shoulder, bicep, not to mention the leg, of course. So take a few more breaths here. Try to relax the whole complex back there. The hand is gripping the foot, but otherwise the arm's pretty relaxed, the leg is pretty relaxed. The front leg is not relaxed. That's what's pulling you into your Anjaneyasana. Okay, just let that go. We'll quarter turn to the long edge, face the long edge of the mat again. This time we'll attempt to get our elbows down. That may or may not happen for you. If it's almost happening, maybe it's fun to keep trying. If it's frustrating, just return to your palms. And we're going to come up into a headstand, either interlaced fingers, forearms down, or head down, palms flat. It will be a little challenging to get the elbows down, but then once they are down, lifting up to this headstand is potentially easier than the other one. So just take your time, go as high up as you want with your legs. If you just get your legs 4 inches or 12 inches off the ground, that is the hardest part. So let's return our feet gently to the floor. Ideally from where they started. We'll just release the hands, the head, and walk over to the left leg for Anjaneyasana. Hands to the left thigh, nudge that knee forward. Pretend you're hitchhiking with that right arm, thumb is up, reach it back, the palm is facing away, and we'll just grab the inside of the foot. So your thumb is right by your big toe. And you'll try to keep your right hip facing front as you do this. Try to bend your left knee a little more. And the stretch is just wicked through this right shoulder and the pecs. But it's so delicious too. Okay, and let's slowly release. Quarter turn to the side again. This time for start to D, we're going to reach for our big toes, first two fingers and thumbs. Inhale. And on the exhale, fold and try to bring the head closer to the floor. We're rolling the shoulders back so they're not falling toward the ground or toward the ears. Next, inhale, let's straighten the arms. Exhale, stay there with the torso, but bring your hands to your hips. Next inhale, come all the way up to stand, and we'll just come to the top edge of the mat. When you're there, reach up, inhale, and fold forward, exhale. Halfway up for an inhale, step or jump chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Right leg up high to the ceiling, inhale, leg as straight as you can get it. And bend the knee, touch your nose with your right knee, exhale. Leg up super high, inhale. Knee to the nose, exhale. Leg up high, inhale, then use that same strength. Step your foot between your hands, exhale. Warrior one, back heel down. So we have a heel to heel alignment. Right knee bent mostly over the ankle. We'll just reach up for a breath. You can even do steeple mudra to help get the arms straighter. And let's release the arms behind the back. Bend the elbows so you can interlace your fingers all the way to the webbing. Inhale to straighten your arms and reach your knuckles toward your back foot. And you'll feel again a stretch through your pecs. Open through the throat. Either stay here or fold forward. Very different feeling for the back. If I fold forward, I need to open the palms in order to feel anything in the shoulders. Otherwise I get stuck. So if that's happening to you, just experiment with that. We're all going to meet in Anjaneyasana. So somehow just unravel your arms and lower your left knee down to the ground. Half split. Once your left knee is down, press into your right heel so your right leg gets straight. If this happens, if your butt is close to your back heel, it just means your stance wasn't quite long enough. You just need to scoot your foot further from your left knee so that when you go to straighten your right leg, your butt is still pretty high. Okay, so flex that foot like crazy. Rotate in the hip so your pinky toe comes down toward the ground and your toes face the right side. And start to scooch your foot forward. Point the toes. See if you can get the ball of your foot down with your legs straight. The stretch for the top of the shin is pretty crazy. And start to angle your foot in. This will be reminiscent of your Marichyasana B and C in that lotus. Then return to flex. And let's return to Anjaneyasana. Palms down. Step back. Vinyasa. We'll do all this on the other side. Left leg up high, inhale. Knee to the nose, exhale. Leg up high, inhale. Knee to the nose, curl into a little ball. Heel up toward your butt. Leg up high, inhale. And that same thing brings your foot forward between the hands. Lower the back heel, warrior one. breath in just a normal warrior one. You can have your hands shoulder width or palms together or Steeple Mudra. To release your arms back. I need to bend the elbows a lot and do a bit of wiggling in order to get the shoulders rolling back and situated. Then reach the knuckles down. Chest up, tailbone down, pubic bone up, back leg straight, front leg bending. There's so much going on in this pose. Either stay here or fold forward. Part of why we practice difficult poses is to pay attention. If you're in an easy pose, it's possible your mind wanders. But something like Warrior One, whew, you can't think about anything else. Okay, release the fingers. Back knee down. Here's your Anjaneyasana. Just make sure it's a long enough stance so that you can straighten the leg for Ardha Hanumanasana. Flex the foot. The leg is going to stay straight. The foot will stay flexed for now as we just swivel the hip, toes angled to the left. You just deal with that sensation through the outer leg. Okay, start to point the toes. Ball of the foot may come down. We're reaching it down as much as we can. And angle the foot in. And reflex. Bend into the knee, vinyasa. Okay, let's come through and have a seat. I'm going to move my computer so that you're low down with me. Enough practice your jump throughs anytime we come down to have a seat. So we're just going to lay back and let our shoulders be up and the legs up. So we're in this low boat, which I know is not a ton of fun, but we're going to get through it. Let's take 2 more breaths. And head and shoulders down, knees into the chest. Fix your hair in case you have a bun, ponytail problem. Okay, and legs up to the ceiling, so we're just in an L shape. Arms just wherever, out to the side is fine. Lower your left leg, go slow. And then lift your left leg to meet your right leg. Then lower your right leg and lift it to meet your left leg. And glue the inner edges of your feet together and lower both legs. You might not decide to go as low when you have both legs moving. You might only want to go a little bit. And then both legs up again. Knees to the chest. Hold on to the shin bones and start to rock and roll. Look toward your belly button so that your rounding is pretty smooth. And we'll use this to balance on our butt for a moment, to extend the legs possibly. You could always bend the knees still. And we'll cross the shins, plant your hands, vinyasa. Okay, so we'll do a similar leg thing from headstand. I'll just show you and then we'll do quite a few different headstands throughout the class with the same legs. So this time, Baddha Hasta A. We measure out the elbows, interlace the fingers, head comes down. So I'm going to keep one foot on the floor as I lift the other one up. The one that's up, I'm going to reach it, and I'm going to try to bring my bottom leg up to touch it. Then I'm going to switch so that the other leg comes down, touches the floor. Then this top leg again, I'm going to reach so that the second leg has a chance. And then I'm going to glue the inner edges of the feet together and try to bring them down to approximately an L shape where I can see my toes. I'm going to keep gluing the feet together and try to bring them up again. And then I'll gently come down to a child's pose where the legs are moving and my butt is counterbalancing them so that eventually toes are down and then rest. So just try that. If it's hard for you to lift, maybe put your bottom foot on a block or on a couch pillow. This is to get us away from the idea of kicking. And if you're not going upside down for any reason today, you can repeat what we did from our back, that core work that we did. That would never get old. Okay, so you'll notice that was pretty easy. You all did that smooth. When we go later to do that from a different headstand position, it might not be so smooth. So just remember how easy you thought that was mentally, no problem. Okay, let's meet in downward dog again. Lift the right leg up high. Inhale. Step forward toward the hands about 3/4 of the way. Exhale. I'm going to straighten both legs. Come on to fingertips. If you can't get the front leg straight on fingertips, just walk your hands up that right shin. Both legs straight and start to twist. So right arm up. Either the left hand can stay on the shin, or it can go on a block, or it can go on the floor. And try to look up at your right thumb. You'll feel this lovely stretch through the right hamstrings. Okay. We'll unravel, and we'll just rise to stand, hands in prayer, and just bring the back foot forward. So we're just standing. Interlace the fingers on the right shin. I'm just going to face this way. Just like you did before, pull it in. And just be wary of the leaning back conundrum, because sometimes we get really excited to get the leg high and we start, whoa, whoa, leaning back. Okay, left hand to the hip. Right hand to either the big toe or the pinky toe edge of the foot. Extend the leg out. And just push as much as you can. If the leg doesn't straighten, it's fine, you're still pushing. Extend the leg out to the right side. I just reached my left arm out to counterbalance because I felt wiggly for a moment. So you could do that. You can hold a wall. You can keep your hand on your hip. Let's bring the leg center again. Left thumb is going to point down and we'll replace our left hand, or replace the right hand with the left hand. Reach the right hand back. Look back if you can. Woo. Okay, here's the hard part. We're going to untwist. Interlace fingers underneath the thigh. Point the toes and don't lean back. Your leg is approximately hip height. It's pretty easy to keep it there because your hands are helping. Very slowly, we're going to slip the hands to the hips. And as you slip your hands away, your hip flexors and your quads will take over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Woo. Okay, we did it. Let's try the other side. We'll interlace the fingers. Oh no, let's go through a vinyasa first. Inhale. We got to do our twisted triangle. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway up. Step or jump, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left leg high, inhale. And just step about 3/4 forward, exhale. It's a shorter stance than that lunge. Heel down and back, lining up with heel in front. Just straighten your left leg. Decide what you want to do with that right hand so that it can anchor on something, and twist left arm up. 1, 2. Anouk, try to lean your left shoulder back a little more. 3, good. 4, and 5. We'll unravel, we'll rise up, and we'll step our back foot forward. Okay, interlace your fingers on your left shin. To pull it in, just bend the elbows. Right leg is going to stay straight. Reach down for your left foot, either outer edge or big toe. Extend. Leg to the side. So even if your left leg is bent, it could be very bent like this. You could even be holding the shin. Your standing leg is still straight. We'll bring the leg to the front again. We'll switch the grip. Right hand to the left foot, thumb angling down. We'll kick. Face front again, interlace the fingers underneath the thigh, and just enjoy how the leg is floating. Then we'll try to make it float on its own. So it's a lot of right leg, standing leg, working like mad to keep it up there. Okay, and let it go. So that's a great pose to teach us how the legs cooperate with each other. Because when you're going to headstands, that's an important piece. Okay, inhale, reach up. Fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Okay, so we'll attempt Mukta Hasta A, which we did Baddha Hasta A, so the next kind of quote unquote easiest one would be Mukta A. That would be tripod, which you're familiar with. We're going to try to do it with the same leg thing we did before. So we'll have a scissor situation up in the air. One leg goes up, and they have to cooperate with each other, just like they did in your standing balance just now. We switch in the air. So take your time. You may or may not need to watch again. Don't forget the piece where you bring your legs into view, 2 legs together. If you start to get heavy in the bottom leg, it's possible that the top leg forgot to reach. Okay, so when you're feeling done, return to your downward dog. Okay, we're going to jump through, have a seat. So if you're practicing jump throughs, you're going to think heels up toward your butt, and you're going to lean your shoulders forward so that when you come through, your butt is still up. It's very hard, but over time it works out. Okay, so option to keep your left leg where it is, or fold it back Virasana style, like this. So choose with your left leg, and we're going to bring our right leg up, Crouchasana. Hold on to your foot. If your knee needs to be bent, it's fine. It's the same idea as when we were standing. You're just pressing the ball of the foot up and away. Eventually, your hamstrings will let your leg be straight. But in the meantime, just push. At the same time, shoulders back, chest up. Maybe you're so flexible today that your elbows can start to bend and you bring your shin in closer toward your face. Okay, so straighten the arms if they're bent. We're going to leave the leg where it is, floating in space, and just frame the leg with the hands. Not that fun, I know. Oh, you know. Let's lower it a bit and then lift it again. Oh my God, my leg's gonna fall off. One more time. Oh my God. Okay, let go. Change sides. This is not my forte. But alas, it is good for us to try. So decide right leg either straight or fold it back. You could keep your leg straight as you bring it in, or you can bend it, negotiate your hip, kind of play with it a bit. Eventually you'll get that foot extending up. Point the toes, shoulders back. Try to lean maybe an inch or two forward on the sitting bones. Okay, straighten the arms if they're bent. Leave the leg floating, and then we'll lower it a bit and lift it again. And we'll lower it a bit and lift it again. Okay, and get out of there. I aborted mission on my Virasana at the end there because it was feeling kind of tweaky. And there's a very big difference between discomfort and pain. And if anything is ever on the border of pain, you need to abort mission. Okay, so let's come down to hands and knees. We're going to try the tripod one again because there was a little bit of disconnect with the legs. So those of you who want to do exactly how we did it, do that. Otherwise, you're going to come up with two legs together, and you're going to practice keeping one leg in the air high and bringing the other knee to the arm. Leg up again, and then the other knee. If this top leg starts to get droopy and comes down like this, it's going to be very difficult. So keep your top leg as high as you can. And then you could play with bringing both legs in if you want. You could play with lifting up to your Bakasana if you want. And I'll just give you like a couple minutes to play with that. So either the way we did it before or this new way. But I want us to figure out how to get the legs to talk to each other. They are both important for every balance. Keep your heels up, Carol. Look forward. Girl, try that again. Anouk, elbows in just a little bit more. Good. Okay. So that was much better. The lowering of the leg was much better. Our lifting up to Bakasana, however, was not so great, but that's okay. That's another thing. All right. So let's meet in downward dog so that we're comfy for a moment. Mentally comfortable at least. And let's jump through and have a seat. And again, practice keeping your knees close to your chest. Because there's not a whole lot of space to jump through. You got to be in a little ball. Okay, once you're there, Marichyasana A. Heel by your sitting bone. Right arm reaches as far forward as you can. I should say right heel by your sitting bone. And the right arm is going to reach forward and around. Potentially bind. If the bind doesn't sound like fun, have your fingertips out to the side. And then you're still going to get that benefit of your armpit being in front of your shin. See if you can get a nice back stretch here. Okay, let's rise up. We're going to turn this into a squat. So use your hands however you want. Both soles of feet down. Okay, so lifting from your tripod into your Bakasana was very challenging. Going the opposite direction is very easy. So let's try. Hands down, butt up, knees toward your armpits. Look forward. There's your arm balance. You have no problem there. As you bring your head down, just pay attention to what your fingers and arms do, to what your elbows do. And you can either practice lowering and lifting your head, or you could just go into one direction. I just want you to think about your elbows. The elbows cannot go behind your wrists when you lift your head. They need to stay forward. That's the challenging part. Oh, Carol, that was better. It was at least a slower fall to your butt. Okay, Marjasana A, side 2. So take your time if you're having, if you're on a roll about something. John is now going to have to warm up again because he's been gone for like 15 minutes and he thought I wouldn't notice. Okay, Marjasana A, left arm forward and around. So the left knee is bent and pointing up to the ceiling, and either the left hand will go out to the side or you'll wrap around your back. So when we go to something like Bakasana, we are a rounded back shape. On days that our backs are stiff, it might not work as well, but we can try using poses like this to help kind of ease into any back tension. Okay, let's rise up and we'll find our squat and we'll attempt again either lowering down or lifting up as well. So watch my elbows for 1 second here. So here's our Bakasana. Look at where the elbows are in relation to the wrists, and then watch what happens. They didn't hopefully move a whole lot. Now watch what happens. They didn't move a whole lot. This is what happens when our butt falls down. It's because watch the elbows. They went back. So don't do that. Go forward. And if you can stretch through your back a little bit and think of more belly in and like the actual back muscles stretching, you're gonna have an easier time being in that little ball, and then it's easier to get the head up. Lisa, it looks like your hands are too close together. So widen your hands a little bit, maybe another 2 inches. It's funny, you're like an inch on my screen, but yeah, I think that's a better stance for you. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on my screen right now. Okay. Very nice. So whenever you're done with your shenanigans, we're going to come onto our backs again. And we'll do very much what we did before, just starting with low boat. Think about reaching your legs away from you, because that's going to help a lot in the headstand situations. And those lower head and shoulders, knees in. Okay, lift the legs up. Lower one. Keep your back flat on the ground. And lift that leg up again and try the other. Reach that leg out and away. Keep pressing your back into the ground. Bottom leg comes up. Glue the feet together. That's a nice mind trick so that your legs behave in headstands when you can't see them. So we'll start to lower the legs, but keep pressing your back into the floor, and that will decide at what point you have to stop lowering the legs. And let's bring ourselves up again. Hold on to the shins. We'll rock forward and back. Gaze toward your belly, so this is a smooth rock. Let's balance on our butt. Straighten the legs if you want to. 2 more breaths. You can always hold on to the legs or bend the knees or both. And then soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Knees drop down. And we hinge at the hip so that the chest comes forward. Okay, we'll start to rise up. Let's take hold of our big toes, first 2 fingers and thumbs. We're going to lean back so that our torso counterbalances our legs, and we'll start to lift the legs. And you can also hold the edges of your feet if your big toes don't like this grip. And just start to extend your legs out. They may stop here, that's fine, you're still balancing on your butt, or they may get all the way straight, or anywhere in between. John, what happens if you actually hold your feet? Like literally the foot. Yes. So good. Okay, let that go. Vinyasa. Okay, so we did Muktahasta A few times. Now we're going to go for Muktahasta B. It's optional, of course, or repeat any of the ab work we've done or any of the other headstands. So this one, we put our head down, we lift our knees up, and then we move our hands back. This is a very advanced pose. So when you're coming up, I like to go just a little bit. My feet are maybe 12 inches off the floor. If I fall from here, my feet are down again and it's very safe. So go very slow as you lift up, because then you will know not to overshoot. And take your time. Woo. Don't come down the way I did, because that was fast and sloppy. But just remember, you have knuckles. You have a pinky knuckle, you have a thumb. Press those down. Good, and you can come down into chaturanga or into child's pose. Okay, very nice. Let's meet in downward dog. We'll jump through and have a seat. And again, we're going to practice the same jump throughs. So heels up, knees bend, arms straight. Look past your fingers. And as you jump, lean forward a lot. Okay, we'll widen the legs. I'm just backing up because of the laptop, but you don't need to back up. We're going to have our feet off the mat. If you feel sensitive with your heels, just move your butt off your mat and put your feet on the mat. Doesn't matter. We're going to reach toward the outer edges of the feet. And you'll know if your legs are too wide because there will be no foot to grab. If you feel very tight, you might want to bend your knees and then hold on. You might want to sit on a blanket. This is Upavishta Konasana. Let's rise up. We're going to keep our legs wide, like where they are. We're just going to lean back. You can put your fingers on the floor or not, and then lift the legs. So you lean back enough to get the legs up, and then you'll grip again like you did earlier. Good. Then release your legs. And just cross the shins, vinyasa. Okay, we'll try Muktahasta C. So all that shoulder stuff you did earlier was prepping you for this. So remember when we had our palms facing out, we were practicing this reaching. So it's that same rotation. It's also the same rotation you did here in your Parshvakonasana. You were getting your pinky down. However, it's hard because your arms are nowhere near your head. So head comes down, arms are out to the side. And as we start to walk our feet in, we have to push our pinkies down like mad to get the legs up. That's pretty good. Anouk, you might want to turn to face the other way because you want your arms a little straighter. So face the long edge of your mat. Yeah, so that you can stretch out a little more. And if you can be up there thinking pinky finger pressing down, your shoulder will naturally get that rotation. And it will keep you in the game a little bit longer. Okay. Ooh, Anouk, that was pretty good. Just go real slow. Keep it going. So while Anouk is finishing this up, the rest of us will come down onto our backs again for that low boat. Low boat is the one where our legs are up. I'm going to hold my laptop so I can keep watching Anouk because she's getting it. She just has to move her butt a little closer to the wall. Yeah, girl, there it is. Yes. Okay. Very good. So let's bring the knees in. And Anouk, take your time meeting us on our backs. So adjust your ponytails and buns again. We're going to try this. I'll just show you. We're going to rock over to our shoulders, widen the legs. Then take our grip, big toe grip, and we're going to practice rocking up to the same place that we were before. So we've been here now a few times, but we haven't gotten there from our shoulders. So to get there from your shoulders, you're going to kick with your legs. So give it a try. You can have your knees bent if you want as you're traveling. The trick is once you're on your butt, you have to bend your elbows and lift your legs up. Otherwise, you kind of overshoot it. Okay, pretty good. And release your legs and vinyasa. Nice, Lisa. Okay. So for Hasta Shavasana B, we're going to return back to a different leg thing that we were doing maybe 45 minutes ago. So this arm position will be measuring out like you normally do, but then putting the forehead against the forearms. If that is not for you, do a different arm position. But for our legs this time, we're going to go one leg up. And remember how we had to have them communicate with each other. So I have to know where that top leg is in order to bring the other one up safely. Then we'll change, and you'll notice that one is easier than the other. That's just usually a flexibility thing. And the hardest part, losing it. Okay, saved it, is bringing the legs down together. And then back up. So this is a lot of pushing into your elbows. Oh, it's fun. It's kind of fun when it goes awry and then you have to save it, so long as you don't crash into breakable items in your house. So anytime you start to feel wobbly, dig your elbows in a little bit more. Okay. So it's interesting. You guys were a little more balanced with Mukta Hasta C, which is that crazy one where your arms are really wide. I'm surprised. But surprises are fun and amusing. Okay, let's vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. Carolyn wrote to the chat, ha 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 ha, but the chat doesn't say what time she wrote that, so I'm not sure what it was about. Okay, let's go right leg pigeon. Left leg sliding back. And we'll keep our torsos upright. Use the hands and arms however you want to make that happen. And if possible, right hand to the thigh, left hand back like what you did before, thumb up, palm out, hold the inside of the foot, just like you did before, but now that you're in pigeon, it's a lot harder. Balance is very tricky. You might need to bring your right foot closer to your left hip. And if you can now kick your back leg into your left hand, you won't need your right hand on your thigh anymore. You have something else to help keep you upright. If this is too easy, take your foot to your elbow, that little crook, and then you can have your free left hand, and your right hand can come up and over. Okay, slowly unwind yourself from wherever you are, and vinyasa. We'll just do the other side. Left leg to pigeon. Just getting comfy at first, but not too comfy, because comfy in pigeon means your head is down, your chest is down. So maybe left hand to thigh. That just helps give you a couple extra inches. You don't have to do left hand to thigh. You can put your left hand on the ground in front. I just like thigh because then my shoulders are further back. And it's easier to have that right hand actually find the foot. So if your right shoulder and pecs are saying it's okay, then put your foot in your elbow crease, left arm up and over. Okay, slowly get out of there. Vinyasa. Okay, we'll come down to hands and knees. We'll measure out our elbows and we'll do Baddha Hasta Sirsasana C, but with the same leg thing that we did last time. One leg up, then it's down, other leg up, then it's down, then both legs to the halfway point. I'm going to try to start this time with my least favorite leg. Sometimes that's a good game to play because then when we're tired, we have our easy side to still do. Inner edges of the feet pushing together is going to help a lot. Your exit could be a child's pose or a chaturanga. So I would legit not get my legs back up to vertical if I didn't push the edges of the feet together, just because my strength can't figure it out otherwise. So if you get stuck, just keep thinking about that piece. Okay, so let's meet in downward dog. And if you felt like that was not satisfying, you need to do that again. Go ahead and do that again. The rest of us will come onto our butts and lay on our backs for that low boat thing. that I know you love. Okay, so we'll bring head down, shoulders down, knees in. We're gonna come up to shoulder stand for a moment. If you need a little space, extra space for your neck, you could put your shoulders on blankets or yoga. Bolsters are too big for this, so don't go bolster. Blankets or towels. When you're ready, shoulders stand, legs up, and you're just gonna stare at your toes. You can't look at your screen right now. That would tweak your neck. So just keep staring at your toes. Carol, bring your hips closer to the wall behind you. Yes, and your legs the opposite way. Good. Okay, so we're going to keep the right leg where you have it right now. And we're going to go with the left leg overhead so that it may or may not eventually touch the ground. And as that left leg gets closer to the ground like a plow pose, halasana, your right leg up top has to be stronger. Lift the left leg up again and bring the right leg down, just as low as you can for your flexibility, but keep your left leg glued to the ceiling and your left kneecap facing straight back. Bottom leg up and both legs overhead. So we're in full halasana plow pose. Eventually your feet will touch the floor. If that's not today, don't worry. Try to adjust your hands a bit higher on your back, closer to your shoulder blades. Then we're going to lift the legs up again, all the way to shoulder stand. And bring the knees into the chest, curl into a little ball, and roll down to your back. And once you're on your back, just hold your kneecaps. Give yourself a little hug. It's like child's pose, but upside down. Okay. Lift the head and shoulders, rock and roll till you can sit up. And vinyasa. All right, we're going to go Baddha Hasta C again. And we're going to think about that split. Same thing you just did from your shoulders. So when you're up, this time we'll eliminate that two-legged piece. We're just going to do the scissoring aspect. So when you're up, one leg is going to be really high. You can even open that hip a little bit at first to help you get that bottom leg up. Then you're going to think of squeezing your thighs together so that they touch. And then you'll try the other side. This is a lot of pointer finger thumb. Miss Bloom, C position. At least you had a moment where life was easier. Good, so the straighter your legs go, the more it's gonna feel like a split. If you have any back issues, just bend your bottom knee to your chest. Life will feel a little smoother then. Okay. So exit either through chaturanga or through child's pose. And let's meet in downward dog. Carolyn was laughing for John's 15-minute break. Yes, that is pretty dang funny. I agree. The funniest part is that he thought he could get away with that. All right, let's rock forward to plank. Inhale. And lower down to the belly. Let's prop ourselves up on the forearms. And we're going to bring the right arm back. So left arm crosses in front of the body, life will be easier. And we're going to do the same grip we've done a million times. This is actually just the third time, but it feels like a million. Thumb up, palm out. We're going to kick. The kicking into the hand is going to help keep us upright, but so is this left arm in front of us. So we're not letting everything cripple down toward the ground. We're going to lift everything as high as we can. We're kicking foot into hand. Okay, let that go. Try the other side. You might need to rock a little bit to the side in order to get your grip. No problem. Once you have your grip, get your hip down again. Good. So practice the kick. Practice pushing with your right forearm, right hand. Pubic bone down. Okay, slowly get out of there. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, so we've a few times now done Baddha Hasta Sirsasana C. Let's try that same thing, but with our head off the ground. So it will be called Pincha Mayurasana. Don't get scared. So forearms down. You can always opt for head down also, especially if you're working on keeping your thumbs glued to the floor. And then we'll try to lift one leg, bring the second leg to meet it, and change in the air, and do the other side. It's a whole new world, and it's really fun. And you'll feel your deep abs and your hip flexors quite a lot. If the Baddha Hasta positioning was very hard, just keep working that until it's kind of boring. And then you try something else, which will be exciting again. Good. And after you've tried both sides, we're just going to meet in downward dog. Take a few breaths there to relax a little bit. And we'll rock forward to plank, lower down to the belly. Dhanurasana, either holding a strap or holding your ankles or holding the inside of the ankles with the thumbs up, which is a variation, but we've done a lot of that thumb up position today. So perhaps that would feel good. So when you've got your grip, start to kick. And accept, John, slowly release, and we'll meet in downward dog. John, take your time. Good. And from downward dog, we'll try again that same pincha thing. So I recognize that when I tried it before, just 3 minutes ago, I went easy side first because that's my conditioning, it's just laziness. So now I'm going to try to go hard side first because then maybe I'll have more energy to get through this whole thing. Top leg as straight as you can get it will make life easier. Just try each side, even if one side is not fun. This is one of those things where we discern discomfort and pain. So Carol, that first leg was good, then your second leg was a little wild. It was, couldn't decide what it wanted to do. So try that again. Good, there. Okay. All right, so let's meet in down dog for a breath or two. That's essentially your rest. And we'll come on to the shins for Ustrasana. So your choice if you tuck your toes or not. We're going to do this twice so that if you want, you can try it both ways. So hands to the hips. I like to put thumbs on tailbone because then I can really push the tailbone forward and down, which makes the back feel a lot better. So as you're ready, start squeezing your elbows together. Your chest will widen. And reach for your heels if you want. You can look forward or up or drop your head back. We'll rise up and we'll just have a seat for a moment on our feet. You can either sit with your toes untucked, or if you have tight arches, whenever you get a chance, such as now, sit like this with your toes under you and try to get them to bend a little bit. Okay, so we'll try Ustrasana again. Knees are about hips width. Hands either to hips or maybe thumbs to tailbone. Elbows in, chest up. And keep pushing your hips forward, even if you do reach for your heels. If you're reaching for your heels, you're just going to press into the tops of your feet, and that's going to get your hips forward. And we'll slowly rise up, and let's move through a vinyasa. Okay, so in a moment, you're either going to practice that lifting up again to Pincha Mayurasana or to your headstand, that one leg at a time, very slow, methodical thing. Or you're going to go to Pincha Mayurasana and hold your balance. You choose. I'm going to try the one leg at a time thing because I think it's harder. But that's just me. It's really harder because I've been avoiding some stuff for a lot of years. But now my Monday, Friday people are not letting me avoid it anymore. Okay, so come on down. Lisa, try that exit we did on Friday. Oh, too late. You know what I'm talking about. That slidey of the hands. Okay. All right, let's meet in downward dog. We're going to jump through and have a seat. And we'll take a back bend from our backs, either Setu Bandha or Urdhva Dhanurasana or any other back bend that you like. Try to take 5 breaths there. And slowly come on down. And make a choice. Do you want to do a few more back bends from here? Or do you want to go to Pincha Mayurasana and try to make that deeper? You decide. I'm going to just watch you and yell things out here and there. So come on up when you're ready, either back bend or Pincha. Those of you who are trying to deepen your Pincha back bend, balance is going to be essential. So glue your feet together, push your hips opposite your feet, look toward your fingers. Keep going. Oh, Carol, you just have to fight it a little more. It was very close. Those of you on your back, take about 2 more back bends. You can make it real easy or you can make it real hard. You can even put a block under your butt if you have a block handy. So Carol, to deepen that, you just have to push your hips away from the wall and reach your feet toward the wall. Otherwise, it's there. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So those of you on your backs, just finish up whichever one you're on. If you're doing something asymmetrical, make sure you're equal time on both sides. And we're just going to meet sitting up because we're all coming from different paths. So take your time. And when we sit up for this round, we're going to have our heels at mat's width. This is like a no man's land situation. It's not an Upavishta, it's not a Samakhanasana, it's not a Paschimottanasana, it's not. But it does help us sit up straight. If you feel this way, slumpy, just bend your knees, maybe hold your shins. If that doesn't work, sit on something. I see I have a yearbook over there. That's like a perfect height, like the inch that a yearbook is. You can sit on that. So we're just going to reach our arms out to the side. Inhale there, and twist for your exhale. Inhale through center, and twist the other way, exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. This time when you twist, saw off your right pinky toe with your left pinky finger. And inhale through center. And twist to the other side, saw off your left pinky toe with your pinky finger. Inhale through center. One more time each side. So the exhale to come down. The inhale to come up. The exhale for that other side. The inhale to come up. Good. Let's bring the palms and elbows together. Start to think elbows to belly button and then fold forward. So you'll end up with your forearms potentially down between your legs, but that's going to depend on your flexibility. But you're curling in either way. Even if you wind up with your elbows on your thighs, there's this nice feeling of curling in. Okay, and we'll rise up, wiggle the legs in. Paschimottanasana. Reach as far forward as you want. If you have any pain, bend the knees. And let's rise up. For double pigeon, right leg on top, we're going to do a side bend, and then we'll do the other one, and then Shavasana. So right leg on top, right arm will come up and over. And as we reach over, push that right hip down, just with your mind power.
Can you do a couple of neck stretch after all those headstands?
Yes, ma'am. That actually would work great from this position. Okay, so we'll rise up. And one of the loveliest neck stretches, just make sure you keep your shoulders over your hips. We're just going to drop the left ear to the left shoulder. We're not leaning to the side. We're just tilting the head. If you need more, bring your left hand to your ear. If you still need more, push your right hand down into the floor. And release the left hand if you have it on your head, and just angle your chin toward your left shoulder. So there's still this downward feeling, you're looking down, but now you have an angle, so the stretch for the right side of the neck is different. Oh Lordy, I feel that one a lot. Okay, chin to the chest, and then sit up normal. Okay, other leg, left leg on top. Double pigeon, flex your feet. When you feel ready, left arm up and over. Now right hand catches you, so you don't fall over too far. You push down into that right hand, that's going to help you get the left hip down. Some of you, your right elbow will even come down. Mine is not coming down today, but sometimes. Okay, and we'll rise up. We'll keep the shoulders over the hips. Just drop your right ear to the right shoulder. Decide what your hands need to do to make this potentially harder for you. Release the right hand if it's lifted and angle your chin towards your right shoulder. Ow. This hurts. In a good way, but it hurts. Okay, chin to the chest. And we'll lift the head up through center. Soles of the feet together. Inhale. Chin up. Exhale. Round the back. Inhale. Chest up. Chin up. Exhale. Round. Drop the head. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Okay. And let go of your legs. If there's anything else you need before Shavasana, go ahead and take it. Shri Guru Charana Sarojaja Nijamanu Mukuru Sudari Varunam Raghubara Vimala Jasu Jodaya Kupalachari Buddhihina Tanujanite Sumiram Pavana Kumara Balapudi Vidya Devu Modi Aramukule Savikara Sitaram, 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Let's take a few more breaths here. Consider wiggling your fingers and toes to gently wake yourself up. There is no right way to get out of Shavasana. We all just suggest things. Maybe bend the knees into the chest, roll over to the right side. And with the eyes closed, make your way to sitting. Just bring the hands together. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Inhale again. Fold forward any amount. Exhale. Namaste. Thanks, y'all.